Well, the hits keep coming. Boy, let me tell you, shortly after I ended yesterday's short stream, we got this news from Godzilla official Toho Instagram, which was a Morse code, which from what I understand is supposed to be translated into Godzilla is coming. At least that's what I'm hearing on Twitter. And that's it. If you look at their Instagram, I'll pull it up real quick. I have it here. I mean, there it is. You know, I have it muted, so that's why you don't hear the Morse code. But there is a sound to it, a beep, 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 beep. So, I mean, again, more Godzilla teases, more Godzilla stuff coming. I'm sure this is probably all building up to November 3rd. Although it seems kind of early. Some people are once again hoping for it to be a video game. We'll see. I don't know about the video game. Who knows? Because yesterday we had the John Carpenter thing, and then last night we had the Morse code thing. But today we got this news here. Let me share this real quick. Not that you don't know, because I probably put it on the thumbnail already. But Cloverfield 2 officially in the works, with Babak Anvari directing. Now, Babak Anvari is a relatively new director to the scene. He's done features Wounds, Under the Shadow, I Came By, 2 and 2. So I'm not familiar with any of those. But here it says it's been 15 years since the found footage from film Cloverfield brought a giant monster into New York City in the 2008 film, subsequently spawning a loosely connected universe of movies that have thus far included 10 Cloverfield Lane and Cloverfield Paradox. So, Deadline reports it is unknown how this new installment will link to the predecessors, whether it's a straight sequel to the original or an anthology piece that is set in the Cloverfield universe. Either way, it sounds like this one is a Cloverfield movie from the ground up, which should result in a new franchise installment with a firm connection to the 2008 movie. Stay tuned. J.J. Abrams is producing for Bad Robot along with Hannah Minghella and John Cohen. Brian Burke, Matt Reeves, and Drew Goddard will executive produce. Up to this point, Cloverfield sequels have essentially been unrelated movies with loose ties to director Matt Reeves' 2008 movie, The Cloverfield Paradox, explaining that a rip in space-time continuum spilled all kinds of monsters out into all kinds of different timelines, and well, that's pretty much been the loosely defined Cloverfield franchise thus far. The follow-up films taking it's not a Cloverfield movie until it is sort of approach. So, I mean, look, we did hear about this a long time ago, about a Cloverfield sequel coming, and that's all we heard. And this was like a year ago, maybe. In fact, possibly slightly more. But it looks like they're moving the ball forward at Paramount. They have a director, and they're going to be working on the script. So, I mean, again, this is just more good stuff. If you're a giant monster fan, you know, we are continuing to get more little teases of more Godzilla content coming. What kind of content that will be, who knows? You know, we still don't know what John Carpenter's involvement is in with his little teaser yesterday. The Morse code released by Toho Godzilla. Now, I will say this about the Morse code thing. Now, Toho did announce a new kaiju movie they were working on. However, at the time they announced it, they didn't say what it was. They didn't if it was a Godzilla movie or if it was a new IP. I was of the mind that if it was a Godzilla movie, they just would have said it. So I thought to myself, well, it must be a new IP. But that's not to say that it's not a Godzilla movie. They just probably didn't want to announce it at that time. So maybe that Morse code, and maybe that could be the next step in that announcement that they made. I think it was earlier this year. So who knows? I'm hoping now November 3rd is what, a little over 6 weeks away? About 6 weeks away? Yeah, roughly about 5 weeks away, really. So I mean, that's a pretty long time to wait after a tease. I'm pretty sure that all of that will come to fruition November 3rd, if nothing else. So I'm hoping, I shouldn't say expect, I'm hoping to hear a lot of good things coming from that festival in Japan on November 3rd. So, and then the Cloverfield news is just like cherry on. I mean, this has been an incredible week for monster news. And it's so funny because somebody said in chat, I don't know if it was in chat yesterday during the stream, or if it was in one of the comments in one of my videos yesterday, but somebody said, oh, this news is great, but they were a little underwhelmed because they're waiting for Cloverfield news. And sure enough, here we are. Here it is. So whoever said that, there you have it. You've spoken into being. So, I mean, once again, this has just capped off what has been a pretty substantial week in monster news in general. And it's definitely a good thing as we head to the end of the year. I can only imagine what's going to come out of Godzilla Fest in Japan in another month, a little over a month. But I mean, it's like I was saying yesterday on the stream, if you were there, this is just peak kaiju, peak monster era. You know what I mean? This is going to, we'll probably look back at this and say that this is the golden age of the kaiju genre, because it hasn't been, I don't think it's ever been this good. I know some people argue, well, you know, the movies are popular during the show, like during the show era, which they were, but back then we didn't have the power of the internet like we do now. And the power of the internet is what's really made this thrive. Because you got to remember, back in that time, you could only see these movies if they were released in the States, you know, like on TV. You know, we weren't able, up until mid-90s, we weren't able to buy these movies on media. You know, I remember I bought my first few Godzilla movies on VHS in the, you know, mid-90s. I'm trying to think. I think the only thing you could do before that was rent them, because I do remember renting Godzilla vs. Megalon at a local movie rental place when I was a kid. But as in terms of buying them, that was difficult up until like the early to mid 90s. And then forget it. Once we hit the 2000s, you had DVDs. So I would definitely argue that this is the golden age of monsters for sure. Man, I'm really looking forward to I'm glad and happy to hear that Cloverfield 2 is finally being made. I really do like the first movie. 10 Cloverfield Lane, I mean, really had nothing to do with Cloverfield. They just kind of forked that in there. That movie originally was made and has nothing to do with Cloverfield. But and Cloverfield Paradox was a cheesy movie, if not fun. So I'm hoping the Cloverfield 2 movie definitely picks up where the second movie left off. Or even if they do it like years later and they bring back the character Rob and they kind of, you know, go through a little history of what happened, how he survived, that would be cool. But I have the slightest clue. I don't think anyone has the slightest clue as to where this is really going to go. But I do want them to have some sort of link. I mean, they had 2 movies already that are loosely tied, and I kind of want to be done with that. So we'll see. But man, it is something else. Anyway, that's going to be it for this video. I just wanted to talk about those 2 you know, recent news. One happened last night after my stream, and the other one happened a little while ago today. I am actually currently working. I'm on my lunch break. But yeah, so we'll talk about this tonight. Now, I am considering starting my stream at 6 p.m. on my channel, and then at 8 p.m. I'll be on DJ Anubis's channel. So we might do a double header tonight. We'll see how things go a little bit later this afternoon with how things are here in the house and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, one way or the other, there's much to discuss. And man, I'm in shock of how much news has come out this week. So, but hopefully, you know, we keep it going. What are your thoughts on the Morse code for Godzilla? What are your thoughts on Cloverfield 2 finally being in the works? Sound off in the comment section. These are things we can talk about in more detail on tonight's stream at 6 p.m. if I decide that I have time to stream. But otherwise, we will be definitely streaming on my channel tomorrow night as well. Or you can just come over to DJ Anubis's channel and join the stream there. It is going to be a Kaiju Godzilla focused stream, so we can have the conversation there as well. So your options are there. And just keep an eye out for my sharing the link to DJ Anubis's channel so you can catch the stream on his channel tonight at 8 p.m. But man, it is something else, man. What a week. Anyway, guys, that's it for this video. This is Rob signing off for E.T.N, where we don't do news, we just talk entertainment. Take it easy.